Yeah, I feel like being a non-native speaker is actually more of a superpower because you've had to think differently
Mm,
and challenge the way you like you're constantly revising the way you communicate to be more effective.
right.
And so I
True.
think it creates a sharper sense of connection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very, very true. Because sometimes I talk to some engineering leader that is struggling a bit with English. I definitely I'm very empathetic because I've been there and
Mm-hmm.
I know what the issues that they're going through and like sometimes I see that they're worried about what they say, they're worried about being understood and so I definitely do the extra effort in helping them and making them feel comfortable.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Because that's such a big deal in that I find that if you don't have that sensitivity, when you hear someone have that hesitation, you might doubt their expertise.
Right.
But
Exactly.
from this perspective of that they know, it's just they are struggling with letting themselves express it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Because
Huh.
that's also one of the, I think, issues that sometimes you get that, people might think, oh, that person doesn't, it's hesitating, she's hesitating because they don't know what you're talking about, which I think is also a natural inflection. Like it's a natural thing that comes, when you're a native speaker. I mean, I'm a native speaker in my language. I might have the same, bias for Italian.
Interesting. So, how do you recommend for other people who have that tendency of hesitating and they're second guessing themselves? Is there anything that you've done that's worked for you or that you would recommend for them to just say it, say something,
Yeah,
get it out there?
I would say power through, be confident regardless of what's in your head. Maybe talk with other non-native speakers at the company. Sometimes it's good
Oh,
to like just talk about those challenges with other non-native speakers, or even just being open with whoever you're communicating with. Like say, hey, I think it's a good technique to even when you are in a forum one-on-one with someone or even in larger meeting to say, oh, by the way, if anyone doesn't understand my accent, feel free to ask as a humor, but like not like in a soft way. I
because
think
it
it,
takes the pressure off. If you
yeah,
just say it, everyone's aware of it. And I feel like even though it's an obvious thing, I know what
exactly.
you like. It's empowering to just take ownership of it and be like, well, English is my third language. So then you
Yeah,
kind of like
exactly.
promote yourself.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask me if I know my accent is difficult to understand. Phrases like that, I think they're usually well perceived, and they make you also more confident.
I will say the one thing I recommend for that particular technique is to say those moments of humor slowly and with a smile.
Mm,
Because if you're
right.
nervous and you mumble it and you look serious, I don't think the audience will feel comfortable kind of
Right.
laughing
True.
with you. So you
That's
want to make
true.
sure you bring them in and you give permission for that kind of because everyone's trying to be respectful. So if it is a humor tactic,
Very true.
slow down.
Very true. And it has to
Oh,
be like said, as a humor thing. If you're not saying it with a smile, definitely it can be perceived in the other direction for sure.
exactly. It can build confidence if said slowly and clearly, or it can make you look completely
Mm,
shy and not the kind of person the
true.
company wants to step in front of an audience.
True. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's